What's up, guys? I'm in my kitchen and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I eat 12 weeks out from a show. Right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get bigger. So if you're trying to get bigger, you have no idea what you're doing in the kitchen, like this is not a cooking show, I'm not going to make it a cooking show. My pretty much expert level in cooking is like amateur. But I do know how to make some chicken, some steak, some eggs, and get you guys pretty ripped. So follow me here. I get a lot of questions on what I eat on the daily, how much I eat, what they should eat. A lot of people, they don't know what a good carb is versus a bad carb, what a good protein is, or what a good fat is, or a bad fat. So I'm here to show you guys, and hope you guys find some use out of this. So first we're gonna start off with breakfast, meal number one. Keep in mind that I do eat 6 meals a day, so it's important that I wake up early. I like to wake up at 6 a.m. this way I can squeeze my meals in. And after I eat my first meal, I'll probably go back to sleep, wake up again at 7:30, do my cardio or whatever I have to do. So let's start off with meal one. Before we start, I want to tell you guys that you should invest in one of these. I mean, I'm not sponsored by these people. I have no idea what food scale you're using, but be using a food scale to measure your food is really important. Another thing you guys should have is a measuring cup. Measure your food. All right, so guys, what I'm gonna start off with is breakfast. Meal number one usually consists of 1 cup of egg whites and 1 cup of oatmeal. What I use is gluten-free oatmeal. The reason I use gluten-free is a little better on my stomach, and 1 cup of oatmeal is a hell of a lot of oatmeal, guys. So with this one meal alone, you should be feeling pretty full. So we're going to use the measuring cup. Pretty self-explanatory. Fill it up all the way to 1 cup. It doesn't have to be perfect or exact. Kind of want to shake it a little bit. All right, got my 1 cup. Pour it into your bowl. What you're going to do is douse it with some water. So for every 1 cup of oatmeal, you want 1 cup of water. Not measuring it. Now the thing to remember with this, you gotta use a big enough bowl, this way it doesn't spill over. Open up your microwave, and you're gonna put it in for 2 minutes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure out my protein. Like I said, I'm using egg whites. There's nothing wrong with using the actual egg and taking out the yolk, but I just use the bottle because it's more convenient. And if you're in a rush, like I usually am, I usually just drink it. You know, I'll just drink my 1 cup, but today I'm gonna cook it up for you guys. So like I said, I am 12 weeks out of my show right now, and the goal is to get bigger. I'm sitting around like 211 pounds. I put on 2 pounds in the last 4 weeks following this exact diet. So what I'm using is Pam cooking spray. There's nothing wrong with using olive oil or any kind of oil that you want. Coconut oil works well, but this is what I'm using the whole prep. So we got the stove on high. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let it heat up, drop the egg whites in. I'm gonna keep it on high for about 60 seconds before I start stirring it together. All right, 1 cup of protein. And what I got in here, in the microwave, got my oatmeal just finished up. This is 1 huge cup of oatmeal, guys. Like I said, like even this meal is like tough to get down because it is a lot of carbs. Usually eating that much carbs for breakfast, probably get a little full. If you guys haven't heard about this, this is from Trader Joe's. Everything but the bagel sesame seed. Like, dude, this is awesome. It's got sea salt, garlic, onion. Put this right on your eggs. A little bit of flavor. And that's meal one. What's accompanying this meal? CoQ10, a good probiotic, multivitamin, omega-3, and vitamin C. So I take one of each every morning. I mean, nothing fancy here. I get most of my supplements from Trader Joe's, and just because they're probably cheaper than Whole Foods and other places. But like I said, 1 in the morning, guys, and usually when I'm waking up and eating breakfast, I'm gonna start on my gallon, okay? So I try to get 1 gallon in a day. Some days I get probably 1.5 gallons. Probably about 6 weeks from now, I'll probably up to 3 gallons. And there's nothing wrong with using Crystal Light. So just for flavoring, throw some Crystal Light in here. Carry this throughout the day. Give it a good shake. And start chugging away. We should finish 1 gallon minimum a day. All right, guys, so meal 1's out of the way. We're gonna move to meal 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the first and last meal of the day are usually the same. They're usually egg whites and they're usually oatmeal before bed. So what I like to do with these 4 meals is I like to cook them all at once because I don't have time to be in the kitchen all day. Like it's not practical for me to be cooking every meal fresh. So I just cook them all at once, and I promise you it won't take more than half an hour. So for people that are complaining like, oh, you must have time to eat 6 meals a day, you cook 6 meals a day, it's fucking 30 minutes of your life. So if you can't get it done, it's not a matter of having time, it's a matter of making the time. And if you're not doing it, you're just lazy, and if you can't eat the food, well then join the club, because it's really hard for me as well. Like, to be a really good bodybuilder, you have to be a really good eater. And you have to be uncomfortable. There's many days I'm in the gym, especially now, I'm 3 months out of a show, where I'm just forcing food down. And most of the time you're gonna walk around with a distended belly because there's just so much protein, so much carbohydrates, and there's some inflammation and gas there. So you'll be blowing protein farts everywhere in no time, I promise. So meal 2, 3, and 4 consists of chicken, flank steak, and ground turkey breast. And it's important that you get ground turkey breast because that's way different than ground turkey. Ground turkey has a ton of fat in it, but ground turkey breast is almost fat-free, and you're definitely gonna taste the difference. It doesn't taste as great. Like I said, I like to cook all 3 meals at once. So what I'm gonna do is open up the container, got my turkey, I got my lean beef, and we have some chicken. Pick out about 2 chickens. These are already pre-packaged. They're pretty convenient. Now seasoning, I use pink Himalayan sea salt. Probably the best salt that you could buy. Just a light coat. And I get some questions about seasoning and sodium, like when you're prepping for a show. And I don't really cut my sodium. I used to cut my sodium, but what I realized was I have no pump in the gym. And you also have no pump on the stage. So what I like to do is, my pre-workout meal, I load up on salt because you get a better pump. And you guys should definitely try it, especially if you're neglecting yourself from sodium in general. So guys, invest in some good pans. These are gonna come in handy. I don't usually like to bake my food just because it takes 20 minutes to preheat and then 20 minutes to cook and then 10 minutes to cool down. That's 1 hour already. I like to be in and out. I'm making this process as painless as possible. All right, I got 3 pans on there. Again, I'm gonna use the pan. There's nothing wrong with using olive oil. Nothing at all. In fact, it tastes better. And a piece of advice, if you guys have this and you have a gas stove, don't leave it near the stove because this fucking thing will heat up and it'll blow up. Happened to a friend of mine and not pleasant. All right, first to go in is the turkey. The thing to be careful about with this turkey breast is that it has very low fat content. So it's gonna get overcooked really easy. So you gotta keep it cooking on a lower temperature. chicken in. Chicken's in next. Open up this packet. Drop it in. Got one. Two. What I use in my chicken is just all like purpose seasoning. This is Morton's. It tastes pretty good. All right, next to go in is my steak. Drop that bad boy in. Same thing with the flank steak. I like to cook this on a low heat. Otherwise it gets really tough. It's gonna hurt your teeth. All right guys, so to be a good bodybuilder, I mentioned it before, you gotta be a really good eater, but you also have to be like really ignorant. And I say that because like, we're not eating for taste, we're eating for performance. And when you're eating for performance, it's gonna seem like that movie Groundhog Day, where every day is the same foods, just manipulated in different quantities and stuff. But I can tell you, there's 3 carbohydrates that work for me. Number 1 is red potatoes. Number 2 is oatmeal. And number 3, jasmine rice. So these 3 things I eat like on the daily. Like, I remember like I used to work in a movie theater, I used to eat popcorn every day, and like now I can't even look at popcorn anymore. So after my preps, like I can't even look at this food anymore because I just get tired of it. But like I said, you just gotta stick to it. You gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable, comfortable eating the same foods all the time. And you always have to remember in the back of the head that you're eating for performance and you wanna look a certain way, so you're gonna have to feed yourself a certain way. All right, so it's only been cooking for a couple minutes already. Already it's time to turn this stuff over. And keep in mind, there's nothing wrong with using like a meal prep service. Nothing wrong at all, but I just don't. Because I prefer to cook my own food. So I know exactly what's going in it. I'm a little OCD when it comes to that. I like to be in control of everything. All right, so a little tip for you guys when you're cooking up your proteins. The last couple minutes you're cooking it, just turn the stove off and let it cook in its own heat. This way you don't overcook it. I mean, it's really hard to eat all this food, and it's even harder if you don't cook it correctly and it's dry and it's not moist. So turkey's done, I'm gonna throw it on the side and let it cool off. Chicken's done, throw it on the side. Steak is done. I'm gonna let this all cool off on its own heat. Now what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna get another pan. That's right, 4 pans, guys. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna use something called grapeseed oil. You can use olive oil, as I mentioned before. Grapeseed oil just gives it a nice taste, and it kind of like chars the tips of the either broccoli or whatever really you're eating, Brussels sprouts, anything. And the reason I have some veggies in here is to prevent myself from going absolutely crazy. It actually does like make the meals more enjoyable. Helps aid in digestion, the fiber, yada yada, but mostly I'm eating it because of taste. So I like to get frozen broccoli only because it's more convenient. I could buy a bunch of it, throw it in the freezer, dump in the broccoli. And me, I like peppers, so I just get a bag of peppers, throw that in there. Now, one question I get is if you should count the carbs from veggies. I mean, you could if you want to be totally crazy, but it's not necessary. Cauliflower is always a good idea. You can throw that in. Chopped spinach is a good idea. Throw that in, make a little melody. But right now I'm gonna keep it simple to these 2. I'm gonna throw it on high heat. And I'm gonna also throw a lid on there just so it cooks a little faster. Now while that's cooking, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of my carbohydrates. Once again, these are super convenient. They cook for 90 seconds. I suggest you go out and get some of these. They come from a few different brands. This is Uncle Ben's. Whole Foods has their own brand. It's pretty good as well. But all you have to do is make a little slit up top, let a little air out, open up your microwave, throw it in there for 90 seconds, and you have perfect rice every time. Like I mentioned earlier, like, it's such a process to eat this food. Maybe I'm spending 2 hours eating that I don't want to spend 2 hours cooking. I'd rather just, you know, make this as convenient and easy as possible because we all have lives. Most of us have full-time jobs or family or children, so just make it quick. All right, so before the rice is done, I'm gonna show you how I cook my red potatoes. You could either throw them in a pot of water, let it boil, dump them in, cook them for 20 minutes, or you could do what I do. I cook my potatoes in the microwave. I'm gonna show you how. Just get some paper towels. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna wrap them up in the paper towel. So I know that 10 ounces is roughly about 4 or 5 like red potatoes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it up as if it was in a blanket, crumple the ends, and I'm gonna run it under some water. I'm gonna get this all soaked up in water. Get another paper towel because I ripped that one. All right, so we got the paper towel, we got the red potatoes in there, and now this works with sweet potato also. The only difference is when you're doing a sweet potato, take a fork and make a few holes in the sweet potato, it'll cook faster. Got my rice out, and I got my red potatoes in. So what are we gonna do here? Is 5 to 6 minutes. I'm gonna start off with like 5.5 minutes and see how that goes. By the time that's done cooking, the veggies should be ready. I mean, no longer than 30 minutes I've been cooking and I got all 6 meals ready to go. All right guys, another thing I forgot to tell you about was basil. I want you guys to use basil on all your proteins. It's great for your digestion, it's good for anti-inflammatory, and it's great for your kidneys. So if you're a bodybuilder, definitely be dousing your food in basil. I'm gonna put some on my steak right now. And my chicken, why not? All right, so my potatoes should be ready. I did 5.5 minutes. Caution, do not grab the potatoes barehanded out of the microwave because remember, we did douse this stuff in water, so that paper towel is extremely hot. I'm a trained professional, I'm gonna go for it anyways. And now we should have perfectly cooked potatoes in about 5 to 6 minutes. We got our rice, that only took 90 seconds. The oatmeal only took 2 minutes. I mean, there's no excuse for not being on your food game, guys. Like, food is just important as the training. As long as you don't train like a little bitch and you're eating properly, you will gain muscle. If you're training like a bitch, you will never gain muscle. But if you're not eating, you're definitely not gonna gain muscle. Keep it simple. All right, so after 10 minutes, our veggies are good. A little crispy, just how I like them. All right, now depending on what you got going on in the day, you can either put them in your Tupperwares, weigh them out, throw them in the fridge. In my case, I'm gonna put them on a plate because we're making a YouTube video and it's gonna look really cool. So, what am I doing? Jasmine rice. I do 1.5 cups in every single meal. Like I said before, get yourself a measuring cup, but I know that this bag is just a little bit over 1.5 cups. And if I go over right now, it's fine because I am trying to get bigger. So I've got 1.5 cups of jasmine rice. That's meal number 2. And with meal number 2, I'm gonna do 7 ounces of ground turkey breast. So I'm gonna bring out the scale again. I'm gonna weigh out my 7 ounces. Now, depending on what scale you have, it's gonna have different increments. So you could either measure ounces, grams, kilograms. We're about at 6 right now, and now we're at 7. All right, so usually this is my pre-workout meal. And what did I say about pre-workout meals? You're gonna put a lot of sodium on it. This way we get a super sick pump in the gym. Sodium is great for pump. Another thing I usually like to do is I'll put a tablespoon of coconut oil inside here. A little bit of fats is good for you. All right, so that's meal number 2. We're gonna prepare meal number 3. Meal number 3 is 8 ounces of flank steak and 10 ounces of red potato. So we're gonna measure out our 10 ounces of potato. We're at 5, 6, 9.8. That's good enough for me. You know what? Fuck it. Go a little over. I'm gonna train hard today. 11.4. Now I'm gonna reset the scale and make sure to have 8 ounces of flank steak. Damn. So I got 10 ounces. I'm gonna eat it anyways, but how do I go from 10 to 8? Just trim off a little bit off the edge and you should be good. That's meal number 3. Meal number 4. Got 7 ounces of chicken. $7.1, we're good on that one. And we're gonna go back to the jasmine rice. I eat a lot of jasmine rice. I just know it works well in my body. It digests easy. This is a 1.5 cups of jasmine rice, guys. So that's meal number 4. Meal number 5. It's a lot of food. All right, guys, meal number 5. I think you guessed what it is. It's more jasmine rice. It's a 1.5 cups of jasmine rice. And we got 7 ounces of ground turkey breast. We're at 6, 6.5, 6.8. All right, now since I only have this much left, I'm just gonna put the whole thing in there. Be at like 7.8 or something like that. That's fine. Like I said, I mean, if I'm eating more, it's fine at this point. I'm trying to get bigger. But let's not forget about all the veggies that we just cooked. So now that I have these all plated, I'm gonna grab my veggies, start putting them on a meal. Like I said, there's no limit. You don't have to weigh out your veggies. The carbohydrates from the veggies don't count in my book. They're just gonna help aid in digestion. So we're gonna do this. Now, if you have leftover, you just put them in the fridge, save them for the next day. Make it a mess over here. Got more. And this is gonna make you fart in the gym like crazy. The other day I farted in the gym and this old guy went up to my training partner and he's like, "These guys are animals. They didn't even go to the bathroom. They just fart anywhere." I came back out of the bathroom and I heard what he was saying. I started laughing, but I was super embarrassed. So good gym etiquette. Don't fart where people are working out. Walk around the gym, fart, and then come back. We dropped one over here. Let's grab our first meal of the day. First meal of the day. Now, we got 5 meals. I'm missing the last meal. So what I usually like to do is, I don't like to wash dishes twice. So the last meal, I actually drink it. I'm gonna show you guys how I do that right now. All right, so what you guys need, you need the measuring cup again. We're gonna do 1 cup of egg whites. Bring it all the way up to the 1 cup line. I'm gonna throw that in my shake. And what else I also need is 1 cup of oats. I'm gonna throw that with the egg whites. I'm gonna add some water. Shake this bad boy up. And let's talk about something. Since I'm not using whole eggs, what do whole eggs have? Yolks, which are very, very beneficial. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm getting all my fat content at this point in the prep from almond butter. So what I do with my almond butter, I do 2 tablespoons with meal 1 and 2 tablespoons with meal 2. What I'll do is drink this, take the 2 tablespoons, I'm gonna get some rest. All right guys, as you can see, that's all 6 meals. At this point, I have 400 grams of carbohydrates. What I'm doing right now, 12 weeks out, is I'm doing 3 low days at 400, and then I'm doing a high day at 600, and I'll repeat. So that's a carb cycle that I'm doing right now. It's really helping me lose fat, gain muscle, and just feel incredible in the gym. If you guys have any questions about your own diet or my diet, all you have to do, drop me a comment below and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading a new video every single week. Peace out, guys.